the quarter in my pocket because everyone was looking up here. So now I can pretend that it disappeared. So the cool thing about this trick is that you don't need a quarter. You can use a nickel or a penny or a dime. You don't even need a coin. Let's say you're eating dinner. You can take a straw and a small piece of candy, and you can do the exact, you can do the exact same trick, right? You just have to remember the misdirection, that when they're looking at the funny pencil behind your ear, that's when you drop it in your other pocket, right? So you can do a pencil or a pen, or let's say you're eating dinner, you can take a straw, right? Or a little stick, you can just put it behind your ear, and then that's the misdirection when you put the quarter in your pocket. Any questions?
I got no questions,
if you want me to show you any part again?
No questions at all.
Are you guys ready to try something else?
Yeah.
Okay, so here we go. We're gonna now learn a card trick, okay? Now, normally when I perform a card trick, I would have someone pick a card, or have someone shuffle it. So here, because I'm by myself and you guys are by yourself, I'm gonna be the magician, and I'm also going to be the audience member. So here we go. Here's the trick. I have a deck of cards. I'm gonna ask somebody to mix it up, but I'm gonna mix it up because no one else is here right now. So here we go. Good enough shuffle? Is that good? Yeah. Okay, here we go. Now I would have anyone pick a card. So let's say you were to pick this one. All right, I'm going to show the camera. I'm going to turn around so I can't see the card, okay? So I'll show you guys for a few seconds. Can everyone see the card?
It's a 6 of spades.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to put the card down. Remember that card. Don't say it out loud.
Not supposed to say it out loud, Gabby.
That's the card I'm going to try to figure out. So we're going to take that card. We're going to put it in the middle of the card, okay? I'm just going to spread through it. If you see the card that you're thinking of, don't say anything. Just think about your card. Think about your card. I'm just going to spread them all out. Make sure you can see your card and just think about it. I'll go through it again. Should be one of these cards. Okay. Now I'm pretty sure, based on what you guys are thinking, that the card you're all thinking of is right here. Was that it? Thumbs up, was that the card? Yes, okay. You guys ready to learn the secret? Now I know it's kind of funny watching a card trick when you can't pick the card. So I'll tell you a few cool things about this trick before I tell you the secret. The first cool thing about this trick is that it really is a regular deck of cards. I know some of you have cards with you, maybe they're old decks, maybe the decks are missing a few cards. It doesn't matter, this trick will still work, right? The other cool thing is that the audience really can totally mix and shuffle the cards, so there's no secret setup or anything. And then the third cool thing is that the audience can really pick any card they want. So it's a totally regular deck, totally mixed up, and they can take any card they want. And it's a really fair, fun way to start a trick. Are you guys ready for the secret? Here we go. Let me make sure I can see you all. Okay, here we go. This is a secret. You give the audience member the deck of cards. They're going to mix it up. Maybe they'll mix it like that. Maybe they'll mix it like this. It doesn't matter. They make it nice and mixed. And then as soon as they give you the deck of cards back, all you have to do is look at the bottom card. Okay. Now you don't have to turn around when you look. You don't have to be super sneaky. As soon as they give it back, you just take a quick peek, and now you know the bottom card. Now that's not the card they're going to take. You don't tell them that you know it, but that's called the key card because it's going to be the key to finding their card. So in this case, right, as soon as they give it back to me, I see that my key card is the Queen of Spades. I say pick any card you want. It doesn't matter. Let's say the audience picks this card. It doesn't matter. I just remember Queen of Spades. I say put your card back. They put it back. Now I say I'm going to mix your card into the middle of the deck. I'm going to cut the deck in half. You just take a chunk of cards, put it down, and then it looks like you're dropping their card in the middle, but it's actually going right underneath my key card, the Queen of Spades. So as soon as I spread the cards out and find my Queen of Spades, I know that your card is the one next to it, the Four of Diamonds. See that? Now, when I'm doing this trick for real in front of someone, I can have a lot of fun when I reveal it, right? So from the beginning, let's say my key card is the 10 of Hearts. I say pick a card. Let's say they take this one. Doesn't matter. I just remember 10 of Hearts, 10 of Hearts, 10 of Hearts, my key card, right? I say we're going to take your card. we're going to put it back in the middle, right? Or I can have them put it on top, and then I can cut the deck in half. So it's going right underneath my 10 of hearts. Then I can spread the cards out. I find my 10 of hearts, and now I know that their card is the one right next to it, right? Because it's next to my key card. So I can say something like, I'm going to try to read your mind. Or let's say I'm eating dinner. I can take a fork and say, this fork is going to be a magnet to your card. You can just hold it up and down the deck and go, the fork keeps sticking to the 6 of clubs. Was that your card? No, of course it is, because it's next to your key card. But it's going to look like you have this magical fork or these magical powers, because you can find their card whenever you want. Any questions on how that card trick works? So it takes a little bit of practice. All you have to do is remember, as soon as they give you the deck back, to look at the bottom card, right? You can just make it nice and neat, take a quick peek. And then after you have them pick their card, make sure to put it on top, cut the deck in half. And then once you find your key card, you automatically know that their card is the one next to it. Okay, any questions? Let's see. Do you have any questions? You guys ready to move on? Let me see thumbs up if you're ready to move on. Okay, here we go. Now, I'm going to show you guys another trick with this quarter, but this trick's a little bit different. Can everyone see the quarter? Yes. I'm going to show you how to make it look like you're turning this quarter, you're making it bigger. I'm going to show you how to make this quarter 4 times bigger. All I have to do, drop it in my fist. Let me try that again. I'm going to take this quarter, I'm going to make it 4 times bigger by dropping it in my fist. Let me try that one more time. I'm going to make this quarter 4 times bigger by dropping it in my fist, just like that. And now this quarter is 4 times bigger. See? Because 4 quarters makes up a dollar bill. See that? Now I can actually take this dollar bill and wrap it up nice and small, because some of you are wondering where that quarter went. The quarter's actually right there. And now I can drop it over here, and the quarter is now back inside the dollar bill. Are you guys ready to learn the secret to that? You guys ready? Now, there's 2 parts of this trick, right? The first part of the trick is making the quarter turn into a dollar bill. And then the second part of the trick is making the quarter come back into a dollar bill. So I'm going to break that all down for you. The first thing we have to know about this trick is that all you need is a quarter, a dollar bill, and your lap, okay? So here's the secret. First, we're going to learn how to make the quarter disappear. We're going to forget the other part of the trick. We'll get back to that in a minute. First, we're just going to make the quarter disappear. The way you do that is sit at a table, you put the quarter in front of you, and then you just pick the quarter up. Slide it off the table and pick it up, just like that. You can do that 2 or 3 times, and you'll see when you pick a quarter up off the table, you kind of have to slide it off. Otherwise, it's a little bit tricky. So you slide it off, you pick it up. Now, if I want to make this quarter disappear, I do just what I did before. I slide it off, except this time I let it fall into my lap, like this. So it looks like I picked it up, but I actually dropped it into my lap, right? And the way you do that is when you want the quarter to disappear, don't use your thumb, right? Just use the other 4 fingers. Don't use your thumb, and it will fall into your lap, okay? So that's called lapping a quarter. And before we do the rest of this trick, we can use lapping to basically make anything disappear, right? A quarter, like I said, a small piece of, let's say you're at the Shabbos table, a small piece of challah or a candy or a small piece of food or a little rock that you found, you can just make it disappear by dragging it off the table. So that's the first part, okay? When you're doing that, also, you want to remember the misdirection, okay? You don't want to look at your lap, because if you look at your lap, the audience might look at your lap, and it'll look kind of suspicious like this, right? It just looks like I dropped the quarter there. So I want to look at my hand, because that's where the quarter is supposed to be. The quarter, the audience thinks is in my hand, so that's where I want to look, like this. And then it will really look like the quarter disappeared, okay? So that's the first part of the trick. You can use your lap to make something disappear. Now, the cool thing about this trick is you can take something, let's say a dollar bill, and fold it up, nice and small. And you can put it in your other hand. You can make a fist, right? But there's still a little space over here to drop something in. So I say, I'm going to take this quarter. I'm going to drop it in my fist. Now you can really pick it up and really drop it in your fist, even though I have the dollar bill there, right? You can make a fist. The quarter will still fall through. You can do that once or twice. So the audience goes, wait, I don't understand what's going to happen. Is he dropping it by accident? You do it once or twice. You get them a little confused. And then you really lap it, right? Remember, you drop it. And then you go, now we're really going to put it in. You can snap or you can wiggle your fingers. You can say some magical words. And then you show it looks like the quarter turned into a dollar bill, right? So that's why I had the funny line of saying, I'm going to make it look like this quarter is turning 4 times bigger because a dollar bill is 4 times bigger than a quarter. If I had a dime, I might say, I'm going to make it look like this dime is turning 10 times bigger, right? Or you know, whatever you want to say. This is your trick. So as long as you remember how to lap it, right? You can drop it. Oh, we'll do it for real. Here we go. And then it turns into a dollar bill. So that's the first part of the trick, making a quarter disappear or making the quarter turn into a dollar bill. Now, if I wanted, the quarter is in my lap, right? Everyone thinks it disappeared, but really it's in my lap and I have a dollar bill. So I can pick it up off my lap, right? I can take a dollar bill. And then I do this under the table so no one sees. I just take the dollar over the quarter and then I just crumple it all up. So it looks like I'm just crumpling a dollar bill. I could put it in their hand or I can put it on the table and I go, you were wondering where that quarter is? Look, quarter is in the dollar bill. And then I can open it up and show that the dollar bill had the quarter in it. Any questions? Oh, can you guys see me? Any questions? Let's see. Can we unmute everybody for a second? See if we have any questions. We good? Thumbs up? I can't see all of you. Yeah, okay, perfect. Are you guys ready to try something else? Yeah, okay, here we go. We're gonna do another trick with the quarter because we still have our quarters here. Are you guys good at that guess a hand game? You know that guess which hand, right? So we're gonna try, we're gonna make it really easy. I'm only gonna use my right hand, just my right hand. So if I take the quarter in my right hand and I blow on it, it's actually gone. It's actually, see that? Take the quarter, gone, it's actually right over here. Now that's the trick I did to you in the very beginning, and I'm going to explain now how it works. Are you guys ready? The secret to this trick, all you need is a quarter. You don't need your lap. You don't need any pockets. All you need is your quarter and your 2 hands. And I'm going to tell you the name of the trick that I just did, right? The name of the trick making a quarter disappear. The name of that trick might help you figure out the secret. The name is called the French drop. The reason it's called the French drop is because a French magician created this move, and all you're doing is dropping the quarter. So I'm going to turn around and show you what I did. Actually, let's do it this way. So the audience is over here. You guys are all backstage. I want the audience to think that I'm picking up the quarter, right? But right when my hand covers it and the audience can't see, I move my thumb back and I just drop the quarter. Let's see, different angle if you guys can see that. I move my thumb and I drop the quarter in my palm. So it looks like, let's see, I think this way is better. So I have the quarter here. It looks like I'm going to pick up the quarter, but I really just drop it in my hand and I pick up nothing. So the quarter stays in my left hand and everyone thinks it disappeared from my right. So I'll show you again. It looks like this. And the quarter is just sitting right here. So again, you can do this with a quarter, a nickel, a penny, a dime, any small object that will fit in your hand, right? So you can try that out now. The way you practice it is put the quarter in your hand and just practice moving your thumb back and letting it fall, letting it drop, okay? You're gonna let it drop into your palm a couple times, like that. And you're gonna do that at the same time as you put your hand down to pick it up, like this. That's when you let it drop. Remember, the audience is looking from here, so they don't see you dropping it in your hand. I'm gonna open my fingers a little bit so you can see, like this. It actually drops and I pick up nothing, right? But again, in real speed, it looks like this. And the quarter's here. So there's some really cool things you can do once you practice the French drop. So practice it for a little bit in front of the mirror. And then once you practice it, you can do something like this. You can say, I'm gonna take this quarter and I'm gonna make it go right through the table. Watch, I'm gonna take the quarter and I'm gonna make it go right through the table just like that. went through the table, right? The secret is because everyone thinks I'm taking the quarter in my right hand. Everyone thinks I'm picking it up in my right hand. Really, it stays in my left hand, right? I put it under and it looks like I'm smashing it through the table, right? Thumbs up, does that make sense? Yeah, so I'll show you again. I'm gonna take this quarter. I'm gonna make it go right through the table just like that. And again, all I'm doing is leaving it in my left hand the whole time. Now, another cool thing you can do with the French drop is, you have all these funny magicians pulling quarters out of people's ears and pulling quarters out of people's noses. Well, you can do that once you learn how to do the French drop, because I can take the quarter. I can say, look, the quarter is gone. And now the quarter is in my left hand. So I can pull it out of someone's nose or someone's ear, or I can pull it out of anywhere in the room that I want, right? I can say, oh, I'm going to make the quarter disappear, and I'm going to pull it out of my button, right? You can pull it out of wherever you want. So it's a funny thing magicians do. They'll pull it out of someone's nose or out of someone's ear, okay? So we can make the quarter disappear using the French drop. We can make it go through the table. We can pull it out of someone's nose or ears. But let's say you go, you know what? I'm practicing the French drop, but I want to make the quarter disappear. I want to make the quarter go through the table another way. So you can do something like this, right? Take the quarter, and we're going to make it go through the table just like this. Yeah. Now we just learned how to do that a few minutes ago, right? All I did was pick up the quarter. Really, I lapped it. So it's in my lap. Everyone thinks it's here, right? I say I'm going to make it go through the table. Really, it's empty. And my other hand picks it up from my lap. And when I smash down, it looks like it went through the table, right? Or if I wanted, I can lap the quarter, right? I go, look, it's gone. It's sitting in my lap. Now I can pick it up. And I can do the same thing as before. I can pull it out of someone's nose or squeeze someone's ear and have it come out. I can do whatever I want, right? I can make it come out of anywhere once I make it disappear. Any questions? How are we doing? You guys ready to try another card trick? Let me see thumbs. Okay, so let's go back to our deck of cards. You ready? So here we go. Again, this is a little tricky because I'm going to be the magician and the audience. So here we go. I'm going to be the magician. I'm going to say pick any card that you want. Let's say you pick this card. Let's say you pick the 5 of clubs, right? I say no problem. We're going to take that card. We're going to put it back in the middle, just like that. Now I say I'm going to take the deck of cards. Just a minute. I'm going to put it behind my back. I'm going to take one card, turn that card upside down, and put it back in the middle. So I just did that. So if I did it right, there should be one upside down card in the middle. And if I did it right, it should be the card we were just thinking of. 5 of clubs. So I'm going to show you guys how to do this trick. Are you ready? So here we go. Same regular deck of cards as before, right? They can really mix it up if they wanted. Right now, before this trick starts, the only sneaky part you have to do is before the trick starts, take the bottom card. Doesn't matter what it is. You don't even have to look at it. Take it, you turn it upside down. Okay? So as soon as they give the deck back to you, you can pretend you're moving the box or just rearranging, making the cards nice and neat. And all you have to do is just turn that bottom card upside down nice and quick. Okay? So the whole deck is regular except for that bottom card is upside down, but it doesn't matter what that card is. Now you say to your audience, you say, pick any card you want. Let's say they pick this one. Doesn't matter, right? They take their card. While they're looking at their card, that's misdirection. So they're looking at their card. They don't see what you're about to do. You just take the deck in your hand, turn it over. But they don't see that because they're busy looking at their card, okay? So it looks like I'm holding a regular deck of cards, but really the deck is all upside down except for that top card. Because remember, I turn the deck upside down. So I turn the deck upside down while they're looking at their card. Then I take their card back, the 4 of spades, whatever it is, and I say, I'm going to put it back in the middle. So it looks like it's going back into the regular deck, really going upside down, right? I put it back in. Now I say, I'm going to take the cards behind my back. Now all I'm doing behind my back is going like this, turning over that top card. But I say something like, I'm going to take out one card from the middle of the deck. I'm going to turn it over upside down, and I'm going to put it back, and it should be your card. So I do that behind my back, then I bring the deck forward, and automatically there's only one upside down card in the deck, and it's their card. Okay? So any questions on how that card trick works? Could we see raise of hands, or how we doing? Let's see. Any questions? Let's see. Any questions? Anything else that we did today? Yeah, I see a few people have questions. Do we want to take questions? Yeah. Okay. You want to unmute the people who have questions? We'll try that.
Yeah.
Hi.
Alana has a question.
Okay, Alana, I can't see you. Well, what's your question, Alana?
Can you see me now?
Okay, see you now. What's your question?
My question is, are you gonna do any more card tricks?
We'll see if we have time, but I wanted to know if you had any questions on the 2 card tricks that I already showed you.
No, that was just my only question.
No. Okay, awesome. We'll see if anyone else has any questions before we move on. Any questions, anything that we learned so far?
Okay, Zev, you have a question?
Well, I have a question. How do you get to do all these magic tricks? Who taught you all these tricks?
Oh, so a great place to learn is definitely by watching this video. And then after this video, if you want to learn more, there's a lot of really cool tricks you can learn on YouTube.
Yes, well,
or you can read some books with magic, right? But you can definitely watch this video, learn some of these tricks, and you can make up some of your own magic tricks also.
You bet.
It's a good question, though.
Yeah, you bet. Yeah. You bet you're home, brother.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, Avi Roth has a question. Avi?
Yeah.
Hi. So can you do the code again?
Sorry, Avi, I think your mic cut off. Can you repeat the question?
Can you do the code again?
Which trick again?
Coin one?
The code.
The coin trick?
Yeah, the table one.
Yeah. I'm gonna show you both of those coin tricks again, because they are a little bit tricky, which is why I didn't want to show you too much new stuff. I want to make sure you guys understand what we did. So I'm gonna show you the 2 different ways that we learned to make a quarter disappear. Okay. One way is called the French drop, where you take the quarter and it looks like you just pick it up and it's gone, right? And we do that using the French drop. So I'm going to show you from the back. What you're really doing is making it look like you're picking up the quarter, but you move your thumb back right when you cover it so no one sees that it really falls in your hand, and then it's gone. So that was one way. The other way we learned how to make a quarter disappear uses a table on your lap. You make it look like you're just going to pick the quarter up, right? You just slide it off, you pick it up, but you're actually, when you're ready for it to disappear, you just slide it off the table into your lap so your hand is empty. Okay? Does that make sense? Should we take a few more questions, or should we try one more trick?
I think Elizabeth, but her name is Susan on here, has a question, and then maybe we'll move on.
Okay, Susan, Elizabeth, yeah.
I think it's really cool what you just did.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that.
All your tricks is so cool.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay.
And by the way, I am Elizabeth. I'm using my mom's tablet.
What's that?
I am Elizabeth, and I'm using my mom's tablet, and I think your tricks are really, very cool and very nice.
Thank you so much, Susan, Elizabeth. I really appreciate that. I'm gonna show you guys another card trick, okay? So here we go. This is, again, it's a little bit tricky because you're not with me, but I'm gonna show you a card like this, right? Obviously, it's not gonna be the queen because I'm not gonna wanna see it, right? But I'm gonna show it to you guys, and then I'm gonna see if I can figure it out. So here we go. Are you guys ready? Here we go. Let's see. Let's see. Can you guys see a card? Can you guys see the card? Okay. I'm gonna guess that the card I just showed you was a black card, a low card like a 4. I'm going to guess it was the 4 of spades. Let's see. I'm going to show you guys another card. I'm going to guess the card I just showed you now was also a black card, also a spade, a 7 of spades. Was I right? Yeah, awesome. I'm going to show you guys one more card. I'm going to guess the card I just showed you now was a red card, a 5 of hearts. Now I can do this for the whole deck, and I'm going to show you guys how to do it. Here we go. Okay. So again, you have a regular deck of cards. Now all you have to do with this deck of cards is take one card, turn it over. Okay. Now you go to your audience, right? Now I'm looking at all these cards, and they just see this one, but they think this is the bottom of the deck. So you say, I'm going to show you a card like this. Now I can see it in the camera, but normally the camera's not there, right? They're looking at it. So I say, I'm going to try to guess what the card is, right? Now I'm looking at the next card. See, I'm looking at the 2 of clubs. So I say, I'm going to just take a card and I'm going to put it over here. So I put the cards behind my back. I take that 2 that I just saw, I move it to the front. I say, think about the card. Now, of course, I already know it's a 2 of clubs because I saw it before. But now I can look at the next card, right? So I say, you're looking at a 2 of clubs. We're going to do this again. Now I know the next card is going to be an ace of diamonds. So I put it behind my back. I say, let's take another card. We'll put it to the front. Let's see. And then I can try to read your mind. I say, I know it's an ace of diamonds, right? Now I'm looking at the next card. I know the next card is going to be a 5 of clubs. So I move it to the front. I say, let me see if I can try this again. Think about the card. Think about the card. I'm going to guess that it's the 5 of clubs, right? Now I'm looking at the next card, the queen of diamonds. So I can keep doing this over and over and over, and I can read their mind 5, 10, or even 20 times and always guess what their card is. All you have to remember is before the trick starts, just take that top card, turn it over, and then you hold it up to them. So while they're looking at their card, you're looking at the next one. And then when you put it behind your back, you say, I'm going to take a random card. We'll move it to the front, and it's always going to be that bottom card. Okay? Any questions on how that works? Okay, good. So I'm going to just quickly go through everything we just learned in the last little bit. We learned how to take a pencil or a pen or a magic marker or a dinner straw, right? And use it to make a quarter disappear, right? Remember using your pocket, a quarter, a nickel, a penny, a dime, using misdirection when you turn around, make it disappear. We then learned how to take a regular deck of cards from anywhere in the world, have someone mix it up, pick any card that they want, and then you automatically find their card, right? Using your key card, right? And you can find it in any fun ways, right? You can take a fork and pretend it's a magnet, or you can pretend you're reading their eyes, you're reading their mind, and you can find their card using your key card. We then learned how to take a quarter, make it turn into $1, or a dime and turn it into $1, right? By using our lap. So we learned how to make a quarter disappear using your lap. We learned how to turn the quarter into $1 by having $1 in your hand before you start lapping it, right? And then we learned how to take that quarter from our lap and pull it from someone's ear or someone's nose or wherever in the room you want. We then learned another way to make a quarter disappear using the French drop, which just means you're dropping it in your hand before you pick it up. And then again, once the quarter is in your hand, you can pull it out of someone's ear or someone's nose. We then learned how to take that quarter that you made disappear and make it go through the table using both ways, right? Either way, we can take the quarter, make it go through the table like that, or we can take the quarter and make it go through the table like that, right? So you can make a quarter disappear, you can make a quarter turn into something else, or you can make a quarter go through the table, and you learn a couple different ways to do that. Then we learned how to take the deck of cards and find someone's card in a really cool way by turning it upside down, right? Their one chosen card. And the way we do that is by starting with the bottom card turned over, and then after they pick their card, right, you just turn the deck over, and then it automatically goes in upside down, and then behind your back, you just have to turn this card over, and then their card is automatically upside down. We then learned how to find someone's card by reading their mind, by taking the top card and turning it over, right? And then looking at the next card that's going to come out, okay? So now, we learned a whole bunch of tricks, right? But there are two very important things to remember before you start going and performing your magic. The first thing you have to remember with your magic is practice, practice, practice. Because if you don't practice your tricks, you're going to forget what to say. You're going to say something like, I think you're supposed to pick a card. I don't really remember. I'm not sure, right? So you got to make sure to practice and you know exactly what's going to happen. A good way to practice is to do it to your friend, right? Or in front of a mirror so you can pretend you're watching a magician, right? To make sure to practice. But the other important thing to remember when you do your magic is never, ever, ever, ever make anyone feel bad that they don't know how to do your magic, right? Because magic is just about having fun. So remember to practice, remember to have fun. I'm going to stick around for a few minutes if anybody has any questions, but thank you guys so much for hanging out with me and learning some magic this morning.
Thank you everyone for coming and for joining us. If anyone has some questions, I see a few. I saw Devora, Malka, and Nechama had a question. Do you guys have a question?
Yes. How do you know how to like switch the card backwards and put it into the card pile?
When you're reading their mind, you're saying?
Yeah.
For the upside down card trick?
Yeah.
Okay. For the upside down card trick. So I'll show you how it works, and you'll tell me at the point where you want me to show you again. Before the trick starts, you just take the bottom card, right? You can just turn it upside down when no one's looking, and you're ready to go. You have them pick any card they want. Let's say they pick this one. It doesn't matter. While they're looking at their card, that's misdirection. So they're focused on what their card is. All I have to do is take the deck, turn it over. Now, it doesn't matter where I put it because remember, the whole deck is already upside down. So I say, we're going to take your card. We're going to put it back anywhere in the middle. It looks like it's going in the middle. Now, your question is, well, when do I turn this card over?
Yeah.
So I say, I'm going to take the deck of cards. I'm going to take out one card. Hopefully it's yours. I'm going to turn it over and put it back upside down, but I'm going to do this behind my back. Here we go. And they think that I'm taking one card from the middle, putting it upside down. All I'm doing behind my back is turning that one card over. Right? You do it behind your back, but you don't want to just say, hold on, let me just, right? You give them a reason. It's a fake reason, right? It's a magical reason. You say, I'm going to find your card behind my back. I'm going to turn it over back in the middle. So when you put your hands behind your back, that's when you turn it over behind your back. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, thank you.
Awesome. Yeah, so remember, make sure to practice that and to remember to put the cards behind your back when you want to turn that card over.
Okay, we have another question from Esty.
Yes, we sure I do. Jeff,
Yeah.
so my question is, how long have you been doing magic for?
How long have I been doing magic for?
Yeah.
About
That's
45
cool.
minutes.
Oh.
No, that's just a joke. I've been doing magic for about 15 years. When I was really, really little, I was into magic. I learned all these cool tricks, and I kind of forgot about those tricks. And then a few years later, I found all those old tricks. So I said, you know what? Some of these tricks are really, really cool. So I started practicing all those tricks again. And then I started performing, and then I started teaching magic. And I've been doing the magic shows and classes for about 15 years now.
Okay.
That's so cool.
Me,
Thank you. Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
How you know the quarter trick? How you do it?
How do I do it? So there's two quarter tricks, right? The first one is taking the quarter and making it disappear by really dropping it into your lap, right?
Yeah.
But you want it to look like you're just picking it up. So the way you do that is you can really pick it up. So the audience thinks that you're really picking it up. And when you're ready for it to disappear, you don't use your thumb. That's the secret. So it looks like I picked it up, but it really dropped into my lap. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Our next question's from Alana. Alana, do you have
Okay.
Are you gonna do another magic show for Yachad again?
So we can talk about that later. I'm not sure, but I know you guys have a ton of cool stuff coming up and a ton of cool stuff that you can watch. But definitely make sure to practice all of your magic.
That's my question.
Okay.
Yeah, so you have this one, and I know that you're going to be able to watch this again later. I don't know about the new programming coming up, but I know Rafael has some cool stuff in the works.
Yeah, stay tuned for more and email newyorkyachad@ou.org for more info. SD Eisenbach, do you have a question?
What kind of deck cards so I won't forget How should I do the trick so I won't forget?
How should you do the trick so you don't
Trick
forget?
and deck card.
So you just take any regular deck of cards, right? It could even be missing a few cards. It could be an old deck. It doesn't matter. Any deck of cards will work. And then you just have to practice those tricks that we learned, right? There were 3 tricks. There was the pick a card, any card, and then you find it using a key card. Then there was the trick where you find their card by turning it upside down, right behind your back. That's when you do the secret move. And then we learned the 3rd trick where you read their mind over and over and over because you're really looking at the next card before you show it to them. So just make sure to practice all those tricks, and you can use the same deck of cards to practice these tricks, and then the same deck of cards to perform all these tricks for your friends.
It's a good card.
David Orlansky, did you have a question?
Yeah.
What's the
What
question?
are you doing at a show?
What's your question, David?
How do you like doing magic shows like that? That's good.
Oh, thank you. You just have to practice, like I said. It just takes a lot of practice. So I know a lot of you guys are home now, so you should have a lot of time to practice. So find the deck of cards, find a quarter or two, and you can practice, and then you can become a magician yourself.
Great, thank you.
Wait, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Okay, does anyone else have any questions before we end today's program? I don't think so. Okay, awesome.
Okay.
Thank you, Jeremy, the magician.
You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for watching today.
And stay tuned for more programming to come. Bye, everyone. Have a good Sunday.
Bye, guys.